What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and a couple of other tickers. I want to break down some big news about the Cybertruck that just came out, some tweets from Elon Musk himself, what you should be watching for the markets moving forward. But before I break down devil's information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, for Tesla, I just wanted to mention that right now we're going to be testing this 253 resistance. Tesla's showing some strength right now, trying to hold up. And if we do end up closing above this or holding above this, this is going to be a very, very good sign for Tesla. We're building a lot of strength compared to the markets. One thing worth noting is that SPY has been dipping a bit, barely testing 555 right now. I did tell you guys it's a very important level to watch for. And Tesla, on the other hand, is actually trying to hold up. I did mention to everyone it's going to kind of consolidate for a bit and possibly start pushing higher later on if we do break past 253. And so far, Tesla's doing a pretty good job at holding up. But the question is, how will Tesla progress from here? What's going to happen? I'll be talking about that in just a few minutes. So there is some big news coming out that Tesla's upgrading the Cybertruck's electric motor. This is actually pretty important because of the fact that it's led to some speculation about the efficiency of its current motor. So Tesla has announced that they're upgrading the electric motor with a more efficient and reliable motor. They also started to contact some early Cybertruck owners to tell them they're going to change the vehicle's drivetrain, and that's very important. Some people out there are also saying that they're doing this because they're trying to conduct a survey about the early Cybertrucks, and they're selecting owners' next service visits. So that's something else that's worth noting. On top of this, the automaker didn't specify if it's specifically the front motor that's going to be replaced or something else, because all Cybertrucks have at least two motors. That's something else that's very important. But the current drive unit is not dangerous to drive whatsoever, making it sound like this new upgrade is simply just a more refined version of the electric motor. We don't know for sure, but that's what's actually happening so far. So once again, Cybertrucks are safe to drive and such. They're just giving a more refined version of their overall motor. They have some upgrades that are more efficient that they wanted to just kind of incorporate. But this doesn't necessarily mean that the original Cybertruck that had, the old design and the old product is once again kind of like useless or anything like that. It's going to be just fine. It's just like a more refined version from what news articles are suggesting. Tesla also managed to wipe out the loss for the year with the 27% rally this week, which is absolutely insane. I don't think Tesla's done quite yet. It's still pushing up very, very well. I think that there's even more potential for it later on during the year, especially after we get past their earnings report, which is just going to be in a couple of weeks from now. There's also a lot of news coming out that the Tesla Model Y was spotted with camouflage, which makes people suspect that there's going to be a new refresh coming. I think it's very probable there's going to be a refresh for the Model Y, but there's no proof that's going to be happening for this year. And this isn't 100% confirmed that this is actually it. But I think it's very, very cool. This could be, going through some tests right now. Maybe the refresh could be coming out. I can't wait to see what Tesla announces. Very, very cool stuff nonetheless. Also, there's been some talk about how Tesla's the number one stock held by Koreans today. It's also got some very, very nice increases in sales, outperforming lots of its counterparts like Mercedes and BMW. Musk responds to smart people. So, yes, I think that's, he has a good point that, Tesla is once again a great company. And for it to be held in Korea, being the number one stock held over there, just shows that a lot of people all over the world know about Tesla's capabilities and the growth potential in the share price. On top of this, Tesla has the FSD supervisor that can navigate through complex city traffic. That's also very, very cool. Musk was also kind of reposting this on his Twitter page. You guys can see that someone was driving in San Francisco through a lot of traffic, in very, very complex areas using the FSD, and it did a very, very good job. There's actually video footage of that, but how effective it tends to be. Now, for data that's coming out, we're about to get the consumer inflationary expectations in just a few minutes. We also have the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions coming out at 11:30 a.m. So what's happening to Tesla? Tesla's been outperforming the market, trying to push a bit, but watch this resistance at this 253 area. If we do manage to break this on Tesla, I'll be looking at 255, then eventually 258. And if we fail to do so, make sure you watch this 250 area as critical support, not to mention 248. So we're kind of range bound right here, kind of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Not really doing a whole lot, but overall, the share price is still more bullish than bearish because of the fact that we have a double bottom like structure. We're still stuck within this range, but we're still holding it better than the markets. I'm seeing some nice strength building on Tesla. So it's looking pretty good to me, in my personal opinion, on the 30 minutes time frame. Looking at the 4 hour, you guys could also see that Tesla is still showing some life right here. It's still on a very, very nice looking uptrend. As long as we're making higher highs and higher lows, Tesla will remain bullish, and we're still on this nice uptrend. So could we consolidate? Yes, we could. We did consolidate a bit. If you look at the last couple of days, it's been consolidating, but there's still upside potential to get all the way up to the 260s. I don't think Tesla's done quite yet. How about for SPY? How is SPY looking in my personal opinion? Looking at the 30 minutes time frame, SPY is kind of range bound right here. We're testing 555. We want to see if SPY could hold this or not. We pumped all the way up to 556 only to reject to come back down to 555. We've been shuffling since. 555 is also the previous resistance becoming support from Friday. So I'll be watching to see. If you lose this support, we'll be dipping down to 554.5, then eventually 553.8. If we end up breaking out, we'll be looking at 556 as resistance, not to mention higher levels like 557. But in my personal opinion, I think there's a risk of SPY dipping a little bit lower. I'll be watching this 20 EMA right here at 554.8. If that fills us, we'll be looking for a bigger dip. So I'll give this some time just to see how things look. But SPY is showing a little bit of weakness on the 4 hour time frame and also on the 30 minutes. Just a little bit more weakness than strength. So just be careful at 555. We'll see if this holds up or not. Just wanted to give you guys a warning about that. For Nvidia, we pumped all the way up to about this 130 area only to reject back down towards 127. So we'll have to see, do we close above 127 or not? I think we're actually holding up decently, but I'll be watching to see. Now, if we end up losing 127, there'll be a little bit of a dip coming. So we'll just have to be very patient with this one and give this the time it needs. Because saw a little pump and dump, so we'll give it some time. For Bitcoin, we're also trading kind of sideways. Make sure you watch resistance around this 56,500 area. And we have support around 55,000. We're kind of stuck in the middle between these ranges. We're going to pump a little bit higher towards 56,500. I do see a little bit of a push coming to Bitcoin from here. But like I said before in my earlier videos, I'd still be mindful of the fact that we have this range kind of forming like a double bottom like structure. Let's see if we can try to get back above resistance. Look for a test of 56,500. See if we reject or not. But overall, we're holding up quite well. And we also have the QQQ. QQQ has a bearish divergence developing right over here, and we're trying to shuffle very close to 496. That's where our 20 EMA is exactly. If it loses that, look at 495. This is where the low is from the pre-market. So this pre-market low is going to be tested if we end up losing our 20 EMA. And if we end up losing that, I'll be looking at 494. If we hold this, look at 497. This range around 497 is a resistance. Right now, we have 498, then 500 coming next. So overall, it's very tight right now, kind of choppy. But I am seeing a little bit of weakness of this bearish divergence and some contraction. Just be kind of careful with the QQQ, and we'll have to see how things progress from here. For Aapl, we pushed very nicely to about 228, only to come back down. We're just kind of shuffling as well. Look at resistance around 226 and then 228. Look at support at 224.8, followed by 222. We're in the middle, going back and forth and back and forth. So we'll just have to give this some time just to see how things end up progressing. But overall, we're still kind of shuffling. We're just shuffling right over here. So I'll give this some time. Aapl is trying to rebound a bit, so I do see an attempt for the 20 EMA, the 226 area. But like I said earlier, it might just continue to shuffle in this range. Supermicro managed to break past 880, so now it's going all the way up to the 900 resistance. If we break past 900, I'll be looking at potentially 920. If we fail to do so, we'll be dipping back down to 880. So it's showing some strength compared to Nvidia in the markets, pushing up very, very well. Coinbase tried to hold up. Now it's starting to reject. So I was watching to see if we hold above this trend line or not. If we held this, we could have pumped more. If we failed, we would have dipped. And we ended up failing to hold this white trend line. That's the previous support, which is now going to become our resistance. And because we rejected here, we're watching support currently around this 218 area. We also have this imbalance to fall all the way down here, this 215 to 216 area. So 215 is going to be our next target if we fail to hold 220. So I do see a little bit of a risk of downside. Amazon, had a a bullish wedge forming, but so far it hasn't been able to get a bit of a breakout yet. So it's just consolidating just under 200. So watch and see, guys. If we break 200, we're going to be looking for a big push to 202 plus. If it rejects 198 is coming. Meta is also holding up decently. I'll be looking at support currently around this this 530 area. If we lose this, we'll be looking for a dip all the way down to about 523. If this holds, I'll be looking for 536. We're kind of stuck in the middle, so give this some time. Microsoft is also dipping a bit. Watch 465 as support. If we lose this, we'll be dipping back down towards 462. And if we hold this, we try to rebound. But I'm just waiting for this. I do see a risk of it dipping a little bit lower if 465 breaks. Look at 462. And Google is just trading sideways between 191 and 190, so I'll give it some time as well. With that being said, guys, that's my analysis of the markets. Tesla's showing some strength, trying to push up for 255. As long as we hold above 253, I'll be looking for 260 as a potential target, eventually 264. So far, so good from Tesla. It's looking pretty strong. But SPY, on the other hand, is looking a little bit more lackluster, as we're going to give it a little bit more time just to see how things end up progressing. But make sure you watch 555 on SPY, and just know that Tesla has more upside potential for that 260 area as long as we hold around this zone. So we'll see how it goes. And with that being said, I just want to say I appreciate you guys. Have a great day, and peace out.